Hi everyone, Cinda here with Archadeck. Today I would like to talk to you about the Archadeck process. Now I'm not sure where you're at in yours, but we'll talk about that in a sec. But first I'd like to talk to you a little bit about Archadeck itself. And somehow you've stumbled upon this video, and I'm not sure how much research you've done about Archadeck, but we have been in business since 1980. So we've been designing and building outdoor living projects for over 46 years now. Now I'm in the Alpharetta location just north of Atlanta. But we do, if you're not in my area, we do have about 60 something other locations spread out across the U.S. and we actually even have a couple locations in Canada. So great people. I love all of my Archadeck family. So if you're not in my area, you could please do a little research on the Archadeck website, archadeck.com. There are locations on there, so reach out to them if you're not in my area. But anyway, so back to the process. Again, I said, not sure where you're at in yours. You could either be in that dreaming phase where you've walked outside and you're taking a look at what you have. You don't like it. You're feeling a little overwhelmed and wondering what could be. So you may be in that part of the phase. Or you may have gotten a couple of quotes already, and you're needing one more just to kind of make sure we're all on the same page and that you're partnering with the right company. And so that's where we come in. So part of our process, and we really have, what I would say, 3 touch points with our customers. The first would be the initial phone conversation. So how you get to me to have that conversation is filling out a form on my website, or you may just be picking up the phone and calling the office number. So in that first phone call that we have, I'm going to ask you a lot of questions so that I get a good sense of what you're looking for your outdoor living. And it could be anything from replacing the existing deck, and you want the same size, same materials, or maybe you want something a little different, maybe bigger or smaller, or different materials that are maybe something that's going to be a little bit more low maintenance. So we'll talk about all of those things so that like I said, I get a good sense of what you're looking for. And then from there, we're going to talk about some pricing expectations a little bit, just to make sure that we're on the same page of what that project would cost is going to be in line with what you're wanting to invest for your home. So getting that information, if all of that sounds good, then what we would do is set up an appointment for a design consultation. So that's going to be the second touch point. So in that design consultation, which typically takes about an hour, hour and a half, could even take 2 hours. It really depends on the scope of the project. But it's not 15 minutes, so I'm not going to show up, look at your backyard, and 15 minutes, 10, 15 minutes, leave. So that's not the company that we are. So back to that design consultation. So when we come out, first we're going to start in that area where you're wanting the project. And talking through the spatial, functional, and the design desires of what you're wanting, and giving lots of options and recommendations. When we sit down and start talking through those things with you, it really is a partnership. I want to make sure that, let's say you want an area you want to put a dining room, not a dining room table, but a dining table, outdoor dining seating area for 6 people. I want to make sure that when I'm putting that design together, that it's big enough for that. So talking through all of those options. Then we can talk about the materials and those sorts of things. So coming up with that plan, and then again, making sure we are aligned on what that total investment is going to be. Because after that appointment, if we decide to continue and move forward, I'm going to come back and probably spend a good hour, 2 hours on working on your project, on the design and the price of it. So I want to make sure that we're all on the same page, so that I'm not wasting your time, you're not wasting mine. Then we set up the third touch point, which is the recommendation. So in that appointment, we're going to go over the design, make sure I've captured everything that you're looking for. I'm going to give you one that's going to kind of be your dream. This is what it would be if you got everything that you wanted. And then I'm also going to give you one that's going to probably be a little bit closer to what you wanted to invest. Hopefully those two things are together, but oftentimes they're not. So we're going to be talking about that and ways that we can change that, the scope of it, and pull back if we need to, so that we do stay as close to your budget as possible. After that, then I'm waiting for you to make a decision. If you do decide to move forward with us, then we are full service, so we would be getting structure drawings for your project, as well as getting the permit. So we, again, we get all of that. That is nothing that you need to take care of. You'll need to get your HOA approval. But just to let you know, these types of projects, when it's a new project like this, it's new structure and it does require a permit. We are licensed, insured. We're really with you every step of the way. So I would love to hear more about your project. And again, if you're in our area, the best way to reach out is to go online at archadeck.com/Alpharetta, fill out that form, and or give me a call, and we can talk through that with you. So hope to hear from you soon.